Some people do say that I won't back down has been a bit of a mantra at times in my life. What did Bilfinger do and what is your role? So Bilfinger is a leading engineering and maintenance service provider in the UK. With over 5 decades of experience, we provide the full range of services ranging from concept, engineering, assembly, operations, maintenance, and ultimately decommissioning in the North Sea. My role is VP for the offshore services element, employing in the region of about 1,400 people, operating primarily through Aberdeen and with a satellite base in Great Yarmouth covering the southern North Sea operations. What was your first impression of Bilfinger when you arrived in July? Having previously worked in the organisation 2007 to 2009, I already knew a number of the management team and the strong culture and behaviours that was supported across the organisation. But what really took me was how the organisation has evolved since that period of time to become a leading supplier and partner of choice for many of the customers in the North Sea. What do you hope to bring in the role of Vice President of Offshore Services? My ambition for the offshore services is very much aligned to the corporate ambition to be recognised by our customers as number one for delivering operational efficiency and sustainability. I want to build on our reputation for listening, adapting and delivering the services. I want to build on the reputation of the organisation as we transition and pivot from our conventional customers in the traditional energy market through to the new markets of renewables, carbon capture and hydrogen. So what makes Bilfinger a great company to do business with? Bilfinger is a great organisation to do business with because we combine deep technical expertise with a highly skilled and motivated workforce. We can deliver the full range of services right from concept through to operations, maintenance and ultimately decommissioning. We can support customers by integrating our services with a proactive attitude and safety culture. We can become more than just a service provider, but actually be seen as a solutions partner. How has Bilfinger adapted to climate change and the energy transition? So, since arriving with Bilfinger, it's clear that the organisation has already started this journey many years ago, as we see the industry pivot from conventional energy into the emerging energy markets through using digitalisation and innovation in order to deliver smarter solutions for our customers. We are also broadening the skill set of our operatives in order to deliver new services and a broader range of capability to the market. Demonstrated on a number of fronts, we were recently selected by Cerulean Winds as the offshore operations and maintenance partner for the Aspen Wind development. Additionally, we acquired the company N0, who are involved in delivering complex solutions for the measurement technologies market. What does the future hold for Bilfinger and the energy sector in the North East? The North East has got a really proud and long tradition associated with the offshore energies market. Bilfinger see our role continuing to evolve and pivot as we move from conventional markets into new offshore energy markets. We see ourselves playing a leading role as part of that transition, and we see ourselves stepping up to provide more solutions through digitalisation and innovation and supporting our customers with solutions rather than just being a service provider. What's the best piece of advice you've been given in your career? So I think the best part of my advice has been at the very start of my career, where actually I was advised to go to Aberdeen and study at Robert Gordon's degree in quantity surveying. I think the quantity surveying degree gave me a very strong skill set that was very much transferable from initially the construction market, but into oil and gas. It brought with it a range of skills associated with cost management, contract management, risk mitigation, all things that are very appropriate and applicable to my role in leading our offshore services business. Which historical figure would you like to invite for dinner and what would you cook them? Well, this is a very difficult one. There are so many people out there, I suppose both historical and current, that I would like to invite to dinner, not least to mention maybe Churchill, Mandela. But in the end, for me, I have a late great uncle, Corporal George Holliday, who was killed unfortunately on the front line in the First World War, 1918. He returned to the front line after having been injured in his first assignment, only unfortunately to be killed. And very much, I think, a dinner with my late great uncle would be very appropriate. And what would you cook them? Well, I think since coming to Aberdeen some many years ago, some of my favourite dishes, Cullen skink, so the fish, potato and onion soup, followed by beef Wellington with the finest Aberdeen Angus beef, going down with a nice bottle of Pinot Noir, probably from New Zealand, and then moving on to a dessert probably would be Mackie's ice cream with local Scottish strawberries and a good helping of chocolate sauce. And then at the end, everything washed down with a fine malt from Speyside, most likely Macallan's. What was your first CD you ever bought? So the first album I bought many years ago was probably on vinyl or cassette, and I can't honestly remember what it actually was. The first CD I bought was Full Moon Fever by Tom Petty, with some classic tracks such as Free Falling and I Won't Back Down. Some people do say that I Won't Back Down has been a bit of a mantra at times in my life. Is it a rowie or a buttery, and how do you take it? With my wife's family being from the Moray Coast, it's often referred to as a buttery. So for me, it's definitely a buttery, served toasted with more butter and a fine helping of strawberry jam.